Hello and welcome to Make It Work Tech. I'm Daniel, and today we're going to continue looking at our Dell PowerEdge T430. Uh, if you haven't seen that yet, I encourage you to go back and take a look at our last video. It's going to be a central item here for what we're calling the desk lab. And there are a couple of things that we've identified that we want to take a look at before we actually get that machine booted up. This is a second-hand machine. It is one that we were able to get for free from some friends that had to move it out of their office as they were doing upgrades. And it is something that does need a little bit of work. A lot of the equipment we got from there needs to work. Really, a lot of it just seems to come from having been left unplugged. A lot of battery issues that arose from that. And so that's a warning that I'll give to you, is if you have any equipment with rechargeable batteries like that, remember that leaving them unpowered completely really can harm those batteries. So that's just something to be aware of. We saw it with a power supply that we'll take a look at in another video, a UPS system. And I think we're seeing it today. What we're going to be taking a look at is we're going to be taking a look at the RAID controller that came in this PowerEdge server. And when I took a look at that in our first glance, I noticed that it looked like there was a battery on that card that had started swelling. And that's a key indication, especially with a lithium-ion battery. You see that swelling, that's a warning sign that you've got a battery there that needs to be replaced. And so once again, come along, join us as we take a look at that together, and we'll take a look at what needs to be done with that next. So here we are again looking into our Dell T430 server. You may recall in our last video, we went ahead and pulled out this RAID controller card in order to make room for our graphics card. It's not something you normally need in a server, but it's something that we were adding in just to get some more graphical output from this server to make recording a little bit easier for us in the future. One of the things that benefited us in is we did catch the fact that we've got some swelling on the battery on this RAID controller here. So we're going to go ahead and take a little bit closer look at that, see if we really think that is an issue that needs to be addressed. So to begin with, I'm going to begin by pulling the card out. Just release that up here. And the card is free now. Go ahead and just pop that out, being careful to keep ourselves grounded against the metal of the chassis here. It's a little bit crowded. That was another concern that we had with the location of all of this. Reach around and just, there we go. Now we're getting that up there. Trying not to grab any bit more than just the edge of the card here, wanting to protect those sensitive components on the card. So we've got that released there. Now we've got our connections to our SAS drives here, so we're going to pop those out, just push those down, release those, wiggle those free very carefully there. Those are loose. And that gives us our card here. And as you can see, that battery definitely does look like it might have some swelling there. So there you go. You see the card there. You can see what we're looking at with that battery. And we're just going to go ahead and set it on the server here, being careful of our grounding. Put that there, and we will work on this right here. The first thing we're going to do with this is we are going to disconnect this battery connector there. It's actually connecting the battery to the card. Not the best positioning here, but work with what we have. Once again, that's just a little bit of wiggle just to pull that out. Don't want to have that happen crooked there. Just get that loose and pop that free. And then you'll see that we just got some clips here that clip this battery onto the card itself, that hold it in place. And all we're going to have to do to get this loose then is just pop that clip there, just pull it on out. Just get one side and then you're loose on the other side, and you're set and free to go. And now that we see the back of this battery, once again, that definitely is looking swollen to me. It's something we're definitely going to order a replacement for. And to do that, one of the first things we're going to have to do is identify what exactly this battery is. So once again, looking here, it looks like we can just pop this out of the holder. In fact, we can push it through. You see from the other side there, just push that through and it pops right out. And finally, as we take a look here, we see what we've got. I see it's a 3.7 volt battery, 1.8 milliwatt hours, 500 milliamps. And I see it says Dell product name. Oh, and then right underneath it I got a type listed. Type 4 T40JJ. And so that's what we're going to be looking for, that type T40JJ, making certain, confirming that we've got the right voltage and we've got the right wattage there on the battery that we're going to order. Now, I am sure we can all name blessings and curses when it comes to living in the age of Amazon, but one thing it does do is it makes everything a whole lot easier when it comes around to finding replacement parts for technology. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at here. We're looking at this T40JJ battery, and looking right here, we see an option thrown right in front of us. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. Looks like we've got decent ratings. Definitely showing, we see a visible difference there as we catch that image. See what that's supposed to look like. It's indented, definitely not swelled. Let's see, we've got our 3.7 volts. And if I look closely, 500 milliamp hour, 1.8 watt hours. All right. Yeah, this is what we're looking for. This is the correct device here. And it looks like a little bit more expense that's going to have to be paid, unfortunately. That's one of the things we've talked about. The intention of this is to be trying to do all of this project as inexpensively as possible. But once again, you've got to weigh your relative values here. We've got a server that's a very nice piece of equipment. We don't want to risk damaging that server. And even though $32 is certainly not nothing, at the same time it is well worth it to make certain that we're not going to be damaging this equipment when we boot it up. So we're going to go ahead and make that purchase. And then in one of our upcoming videos, we will show reinstalling installing this new battery there into the card. Putting this back into the machine, making certain we have everything ready to go, and hopefully soon booting the server up. Thank you very much for joining us today. Appreciate the time that you spend with us. I hope that you are learning something as we are learning here, and I look forward to coming back together again. Thank you again.